On Spurs, this looked like it was just going to be 0-0, done and dusted. Okay, move on to the next one. But two late goals to Sporting, Paulinho and then Arthur, would see them take all 3 points, maintaining their perfect start to the Champions League this season. Stevie, how did this happen?
Listen, if you watched the game, it wasn't a huge surprise. I think a draw would have been the correct result. You know, they basically did to Spurs what Spurs generally do in the Premier League, and that is just break on teams, get a decent line, and then use their quality going forward. And Porto got some pace going forwards. They probably lacked in the final third, as did Spurs. You know, Spurs had some opportunities, but on most occasions didn't even make the goalkeeper work. Whereas Lloris made a couple of great saves. So for me, the 90th minute, I was like, you know what, this is a fair draw. But then the corner comes in, Paulinho with a nice flick header, and then they get the one late on, makes it 2-0. But Spurs are a little unfortunate, but they basically got caught doing what they do most times to the other sides, and they can't complain. They probably will look at the chances they had, but the truth is, it was pretty much their own fault that they've lost this game.
At least Conte can't complain about teams boring them to death.
Yep.
Doing the opposite. I think some of the stories from this game, one, Heung-min Son was poor again. Just didn't play very well and he's out of form. And I think, you know, he desperately needs him to be... But I know it's better than last year because he has replacements. Kulusevski on the bench, he can play. Him and Richarlison can play behind Kane. Lucas Moura can play. They have options. But none of those options are up to the standard of an on-form Heung-min Son. So that's a big story for them. The other one was Richarlison looked like he got another goal in the Champions League for them, but he was a smidge offside in the first half. And then Perisic put the most brilliant ball across in the second half, straight across the 6-yard box after a little step over. And Harry Kane was a whisker away from putting it in at the back post. As Stevie said, watching this game, it just looked like it was going to be 0-0, a point each. Let's get on the plane and back to London. But they got suckered at the end. But
you look at the group, are they going to be okay?
I think it's going to be tight for them. If you look at their game against Marseille, which they won after Marseille went down to 10 men, it was a struggle for them for long periods in that game. So I don't think it's a given that they're going to get out of this group. I think that all the teams in this group, I think it's very evenly matched, if I'm being honest with you.
What do you think, Stevie?
Yeah, when I saw the draw, I thought Spurs would be comfortable, but now that we've seen how Spurs play, and I don't think they're going to change an awful lot between now and the end of the season. I think they're pretty much what they are. They're going to be hard to beat, and they can do you on the break. That's what they are. So if they can't finish, then yeah, it's a possibility that they might not get out of this group. The other teams have shown that going forward they can upset them, and so certainly from when I saw the draw to now, they're certainly not a shoo-in. I thought they were a shoo-in. I don't see them as a shoo-in now. I think all the other sides will be looking at them and going, well, you know what? If they thought they were a shoo-in before a ball was kicked, they now know that they can either play Tottenham home or away and get something. Pretty sure of that.
I tell you, as a rule of thumb, and that's why this result's a bit of a surprise, as a rule of thumb, the way that he sets up his team and his personnel should be, against this standard of opposition, it's not Barcelona, Bayern, Man City, etc. They're kind of set up to go away from home and scratch a win or a point here or there, which could see them through this group, because they do generally play a defensive game. They are quite a difficult side to break down, and they're generally very good in the counter-attack. Unfortunately for them, the other team wanted to play the same game at home. So
he's got to get through the group, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think you
look at his record in the Champions League.
He's not going to get sacked for not getting through the group, because the bigger picture for them is the Premier League top four and closing that gap and continually building. However, when you are back in the transfer market and when you have that squad, they are expected to get out of the group. But as I said, they weren't brilliant at home against Marseille. Eintracht Frankfurt are Europa League champions and they're a decent side. And we've seen Sporting haven't got the quality of Spurs, but they were able to hang in. So yeah, expecting them to get out the group, but as Stevie said, it's not quite as cut and dried as it looked when the draw was made.